tough square right there. Collect energy tanks or reserves, adding up to 11. That's another pretty slow one. Finishing spring ball room can also be difficult depending on how you have to get there. Looks like we're off to a start here. Both runners now making their way to Ridley. And row 5 is Brinstar Map Station, Brinstar Reserve Tank, collect Plasma Beam, or defeat Ridley, visit the critters, and 125 plus missiles. So that's another fairly slow one. A lot of collection in that one. Plus, visiting the critters requires you to get the speed booster before you head back to Green Brinstar to check in on the Decora. So we'll see what they select. It looks as though Serberoth is going to be forced into doing row 5. That's the one we just talked about. So he's going to have to get Plasma Beam or defeat Ridley, visit the critters, and do a lot of missile collection. Beeps, on the other hand, BluePlasmaSpark, has been forced into top left to bottom right. That's the Criteria Map Station or Wreck Ship Map Station, 40 plus power bombs, Wreck Ship Reserve, and 125 missiles. The 15 plus super missiles to me doesn't seem too bad, but having to collect 125 missiles is never fun. Plus, you got the Wreck Ship Reserve and 40 plus power bombs, which will require you to go to a lot of places on the map because there's only 50 power bombs total. So let's get this thing started. I want to say a special hello to everybody out there in the chat that said hello to me. Thank you so much. And I think my man Nightwolf has come in to help with the tracking. So shout outs to him. All right, so it looks like BluePlasmaSpark is the first one to make the Ceres station explode. But in Dab, it's not actually the player that makes the planet explode first that wins. It's just the player that fills out the bingo cards correctly. So for anybody out there who's confused about how that works, basically, to make it simple, the arrows that you see is the row or column or diagonal that the runner is forced to do by the other player. So they have to complete those 5 in a row. And then they have to fill any other row or column or diagonal of their choosing along the way. So at minimum, you're going to be filling out at least 9 of the squares. Sometimes people don't double up and they do a full 10. If like, for example, if they wanted to do row 2 and row 4 or whatever, you can do that as well. So we'll see what they decide to do. I typically don't try to guess as to what they're thinking along the way. I just kind of commentate on what we're seeing in front of us. So let's see what they do. I assume both will head down and do the normal collection at the beginning, although we might go ahead, depending on how they want to route this thing, we might see them go ahead and pick up beta missiles. But if they decide to come back for beta missiles and the 2 missile packs up in the Billy Mays room later, presumably after like getting speed booster or something like that, or finishing Wreck Ship, we might see that later. So let's see what they decide to do here. All right. Beeps over here, going to grab his Alpha missile pack. Remember that both of the runners do have to collect 125 regular missiles. That is a lot of collection. And I assume they will get a lot of those packs from a variety of areas. And yes, looks like BluePlasmaSpark is planning to go grab the beta missiles. That tells me he most likely will not return to this location for Billy Mays later. Looks like Serberoth is electing not to do that, so he's going to grab some extra missiles later. Another reason, if you look at the card carefully, another reason BluePlasmaSpark might have selected, or I guess elected, to get these beta missiles is it might actually make grabbing the Criteria Map Station a little bit easier. As soon as he gets done with his climb, he'll already have the requisite extra missiles, and then he can collect a few along the way. Like here in this next room, he should collect some missiles potentially to get back to 10, and that would help him with a much faster Bombs Rezo fight. So yeah, he should have, at very minimum, 9, probably 10 missiles by the time he gets up to that door. while we're chilling for a minute, let's give a little shout out to chat. Chat, what are you guys? Anybody snacking or drinking anything right now? I'm drinking on some delicious iced coffee at the moment, and let me tell you, it's very. Looks like Serberoth accidentally forgot that he cannot go grab those missiles until he has bombs. Or it looks like instead he might have accidentally gone to the wrong place. So Serberoth is also okay. Never mind. He's not going to grab the criteria map station, and I guess BluePlasmaSpark opted to skip it. So maybe he'll just grab the one in wreck ship instead. All right, I see some tasty options out there. Well done, chat. So pay attention to BluePlasmaSpark here. He's already got 5 missiles. He actually can end this fight a bit faster than normal if he chooses to do so. Unfortunately, he forgot that he has to be at 0 missiles, or at least low missiles, for Chorizo not to do his little banana attack thing. So since BluePlasmaSpark did not opt to get rid of all his missiles at the very beginning of the fight, he was open for that attack. Okay, Serberoth and BluePlasmaSpark, and Serberoth just got trolled really hard. Basically, you want to try not to take any damage from Bomb Chorizo, because if you do that, I'll try to keep it somewhat simple. The loot table in this game has basically 2 tiers. Energy and regular missiles are on tier 1, and if you're full on one, then all of the chances of picking up the other basically get increased. Because like if you're full on energy and something has a 50-50 shot of dropping an energy or missile, it'll now do 100% missile, because it pushes all that extra % chance to the other tier 1 item. So you want to be at full health as much as you can for that Bomb Chorizo fight. That way, whenever you farm his eggs, you'll get all missiles instead of any energy. But it looks like Serberoth is going to head down now with his bombs and try to grab these 230 missiles. Because that is the 230th missile, I guess, that you grab in the hundo route. It's actually the last item you typically grab in a 100% route. In the meantime, BluePlasmaSpark is heading. He's needing to farm here to get back to 5 missiles. And now we're going to see him head and pick up some early supers. I assume he will also grab all 3 of the regular missile packs, as well as the Brinstar Reserve in the room over. Yes, chat, feel free to put your predictions in the chat about what you think the runners would do, or what you think they should do. One caveat I will point out to everybody is sometimes what could be the best option for you might not be the best option for the runner. So, if you see the runner do something different than what somebody else in chat says, doesn't necessarily mean that the runner is wrong. It just means that maybe they see another option as a better fit for them, which is totally great. So we'll see what happens here. Serberoth is going to have plenty of missiles to get to his early super opportunity. BluePlasmaSpark already grabbing his 15th and 20th regular missile packs. And I bet, watch Beeps real quick, I bet he tries to do a strat where he jumps back up here and then jumps off the crumble block. Very nice. That saved a little bit of time there. It prevented him from having to drop a bomb and wait on it to explode that block underneath. And Beeps is now heading over to grab the Brinstar map. Is that even on here? Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Yes, he's forced to do that. It's the bottom left. Brinstar map station. So he's going over here to grab that. Serberoth is not forced to do that. It just depends on what he chooses to do for his other thing. Beeps memeing it up and actually getting the map itself. In the dab, you are not required to actually pick up the map, but just enter the room. Beeps is going to need to go back and kill that Zila unless he already opened the door. He did not. Yes, that door will not open. It's a gray door. It will not be blue when he comes back through there unless he kills all the enemies. he looks like he forgot about that. There he goes. So now he can open this door again. Oh, good point. Ancient Gamer pointed out that Serberoth is actually the one forced to do the Brinstar map. Looks like BluePlasmaSpark is grabbing it because of whatever else he wants to do. So the fact that BluePlasmaSpark went over there, there's only two options. Either A, he wants to do maybe column 1, or I hope this didn't happen, but occasionally people, I've made this mistake before, they misread the card, and he might have read Criteria Map Station as Brinstar. So I hope that that's not the case. I hope he didn't go in there thinking that he got credit for that one. Hopefully when he gets to Wreck Ship later, he'll grab it, but I know for sure he did not grab the Criteria Map Station on his way up to the climb, which was a bit surprising, but maybe he thought the Wreck Ship one would be a little bit better fit for him. And I'll agree with Rumble on this. I don't think there would be any shot really that Beeps would do row 5 when that's the one that he actually assigned. Usually people stay away from the one they assign because they think it's the hardest. So we'll see. You never know with Dab. Weird things happen sometimes in these races. One small thing to note, Beeps is actually out of super missiles. I don't know how he's gonna manage that. He's gonna get one from the Cack Attack here in just a moment, but I would assuming that it doesn't give him the really trolley drop chance of less than 1%, but he needs a super. Okay, he needs at least one super to be able to enter Kraid's lair. So luckily he got that super there, and he'll continue. Not sure exactly what happened to the card in terms of on the restream. I'll try to keep you guys updated as to what's happening here. I think we might have a new tracker coming in. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but we'll find out. In the meantime, it looks like Serberoth is being forced to run the screws of the tank there, and it looks like BluePlasmaSpark is being forced to run the broken glass. Oh man, it came back up just in time to ruin my joke. Anyway, it's probably a bad dad joke anyway. It's all good. All right, Beep's getting ready for his Kraid kill here. Hopefully he can get a quick kill and move it right along to grab his various suit. Ooh, this is not looking good for Beeps. He is no longer able to get the Kraid quick kill. Looks like Kraid will be standing up. In the meantime, Serberoth grabbed the Spore Spawn supers, so now he's already at 10 supers, which is a good thing. This is getting a little nerve-wracking. Okay, good. I was getting a little worried because Beeps was at 35 health. I didn't want him to accidentally get low, and I say this with all sincerity. If you haven't died to Kraid at some point while speedrunning this game, it probably just means that you haven't been haven't been playing for very long, because at some point everybody messes up and makes a few mistakes, and it's definitely possible to die once he stands up. Plus, nobody practices that because you just practice the quick kill. So I'm glad that Beeps was able to get through that without incident. Okay, Serberoth is actually heading up, which I'm a bit shocked about that. Serberoth, well, I guess not too shocked. I guess it just depends on what he wants to add with his bottom row. He could get the quick power bombs. I'm not 100% sure exactly how that would benefit him unless he wants to go ahead and go back down and do Brinstar like cleanup and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what he decides to do here. Meanwhile, Beeps is heading to NorFair, entering Business Center. I assume he will go down and grab the high jump boots. And let's just take a moment to acknowledge the single most powerful, best item in this game, without question, the high jump boots. My favorite item. Chat, show me some love for high jump boots, please. I know there's some cultured, intelligent people out there in the chat. Tell me how much of a great item it is. Very nice. Beeps now is jumping straight to the moon. Meanwhile, Serberoth is opening these doors, and it looks like he is going to leave. He is doing an early power bomb. We'll see exactly why shortly. My guess would be that he either A, wants to go back and clean up some of the green Brinstar, and maybe even blue Brinstar stuff, or it might just be that he wanted those early power bombs for some strats and on the way to Kraid, such as using the power bombs to grab the Kraid missiles, since he does have to do a lot of missile collection, and some other things. So we'll see. Poor man's spring ball. Oh, looks like we got some Spazer action. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go through the list. Everybody calls it the meme beam or the Sephi beam. I have two names for it. Also, I call it the crab beam because it's the little icon when you grab it. You can't really see it here, but the icon is a crab holding that S. I also like to call it the Triceratops beam. I don't know why they didn't use the Triceratops for the icon, because they used some other dinosaurs for some of the other ones. I think it would have been a perfect fit, but hey, what can I say? Nice pseudo screw by BluePlasmaSpark there, grabbing the super from the Cack Attack to get him into the green door here. He's going to pick up his speed booster. Arguably the most fun item in the game, or maybe swag. You know, I know Spring Ball is fantastic. I love Spring Ball too, but I don't think Super Metroid would be what it is without the awesome Speed Booster and Shine Spark strat. So, got to show some love for Speed Booster. And on top of that, padding the missile count with another 5 on the way to 125. Looks like Serb is going to drop that power bomb on the way to Kraid, which means that later he won't have to worry about coming back here after Meridia to make sure he gets 100%. Just kidding, guys. That was a hundo joke. Thank you. And Sklade, that's Mini Kraid's name, didn't even get a chance to get on the screen. Serberoth with a perfect super shot there to take him out, and refilled on his super missiles. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That's one of the worst Kojaks in the game. Or I guess maybe not Kojak, but snipe in the game is when the ball store snipes your super. That's always a rough situation. Beeps over here on the right is going to pick up 2 different missile packs in the next few rooms, as well as that reserve tank. So let's see what he's up to. And Serberoth is setting up for his quick kill attempt. Unfortunately, was not able to get it. Kraid will stand up. We got double Kraid stand-up glitch. And I don't know if there's anybody out there as old as me, but I actually played Super Metroid when it came out in '94, and I had also beaten regular Metroid on the NES before I ever played this game. So when I saw Kraid become that big, I was like totally in shock, because he did not look like that at all in the original game. So that was one of my biggest shocks when I played it for the first time. But Serberoth cleans it up with a few supers into the mouth. Kraid now on his way to the dentist. Probably got a few cavities from that, or at least a couple teeth knocked out. Beep's now grabbing the Bubble Mountain missile pack as well. And I presume we'll head his way to Crocomire to grab his first Power Bomb pack here shortly, would be my guess. We'll see what he decides to do. Maybe he won't, but we'll see. Nice. I see some other older people in the chat. That means you're all very smart. Okay. The older you are, you have to be smarter, right? You've seen more things. That's what I tell myself anyway. Thank you to Nightwolf for helping me track. And it looks like we have Polar Bear Bunny, the one and only Polar Bear Bunny, who is also still in this tournament. Going to be helping us track. So welcome in, Polar Bear Bunny, and thank you so much for the help. Well, I can agree with you, Chad, on that. Maybe we're not smarter. Maybe we're just less dumb. I can roll with that. Beep's knocking out this Crocomire fight, and poor Croc didn't do a darn thing, hanging out in his lair, chilling on a Wednesday afternoon, and forced into the boiling pot of acid he was using to fry up his French fries. Unfortunate. Serb now entering the best room in the game because it has the best item in the game. Gotta say, this whole high jump boot location, section of the game is very nice. I mean, you get an energy tank, high jump boots, and a missile pack. That's some efficiency right there, baby. All right. In the meantime, Serberoth is heading up, presumably with his Spacer Beam intact, to now make his way over to the Bubble Mountain area of the game. There's Polar Bear Bunny with the first track of the game. Nicely done. Serb grabbing the Cathedral missiles here. I like that decision. Good call. I know Serberoth is well versed in 100%, so he probably knows exactly what to do in terms of collecting a lot of these items to get 125 missiles. I also like the fact that Serberoth grabbed the Spore Spawn supers before he came down here, which means that even though you can't see him now, he does have like more in the tank, so to speak, and he's got plenty to do all the strats he wants to do, so I think that was good. I like that. Anytime you can do something in this game to make yourself a little more comfortable, ammo management, especially in a dab situation where you're doing a bunch of crazy weird things you've maybe never done in sequence before, it's always good to have that safety net, in my opinion. Unfortunately, Beeps just barely missed the spark here. Oh, that's twice now. Just as a small thing, just an educational thing in chat, you actually can just jump up there. You don't have to spark. You actually, if you can get enough momentum, you can actually just do like a big, jump to the left and then back to the right in the wall, jump up there. Save a little bit of health and maybe some time because you don't get the crash animation. But just something to think about. Beeps did not, however, stop to pick up the grapple beam. So, in my opinion, that would probably mean he's not going to do anything to do with finishing Spring Ball Room, but we probably already knew that anyway. Does a quick one farm, and he's on his way out. Serberoth grabbing the Speed Booster missiles and the Speed Booster. We won't see any funky physics during this match because both runners were allowed and opted to pick up their high jump boots. So high jump boots plus Speed Booster equals some really great jump potential. And Serberoth's going to kill these bugs. Boom. I love that strat too. One of the easiest in the game. You just run right into them. Get a full five bugs worth of ammo and health. What you just saw Serberoth do, he tried to missile that seahorse. I think they're technically called dragons, maybe. I don't remember the exact name. Or no, those are the Alcoons, my fault. But anyway, just a small thing in that room back there, single chamber, before the double chamber room here in Wave Beam. If you kill at least one of those Alcoons and maybe the orb too, it actually reduces the amount of lag in the room. So that would be my assumption as to what he was going for. I don't think he was trying to farm it for a power bomb. Their power bomb drops are like 99%. But I think he's full on power bombs at the moment. I don't believe he's picked up a second power bomb pack yet. So that would be my guess as to the strat that he was going for. Meanwhile, BluePlasmaSpark has finished his NorFair collection. I presume, I didn't quite see it, but I presume he grabbed the missile pack on the way out from Crocomire. And he is now heading up to presumably wreck ship. And then my assumption would be if he feels like he needs to. Oh, okay. He's going to go ahead and do his cleanup over here first. We will be able to tell very soon. Somebody in the chat earlier mentioned they thought he might be trying to do row 5. We will be able to tell that very soon, because if he wants to do row 5, he's going to have to visit the Decora by breaking the speed booster blocks on the floor of that long pink hallway. I doubt that he's going to do that, but you never know. Let's find out. Yeah, I agree with John here. Again, I don't like to question the runners because they know kind of what they're doing and they have a vision for themselves. But generally speaking, I probably would have gone to wreck ship and did whatever I needed to do there, and then come back and visited this area of the game after that. But, you know, maybe he sees it differently. Serberoth doing the same thing BluePlasmaSpark did earlier. He came over here to the NorFair reserve tank area, grabbed 2 missile packs and that reserve tank. Traditionally, in a 100% run, you would not grab that till near the end of the run, but that's because you would be coming back through here after Lower Norfair. My assumption is that neither of these runners will be going to Lower Norfair. Technically, if that's true, we'll wait and see. But for Beeps in particular, he's got to get 40 power bombs. If he does not return to Lower Norfair, he will have to collect every other power bomb that there is in this game, because there's 10 of those in Lower Norfair. But I presume he will not do that, and I presume that Serberoth probably would prefer to collect plasma rather than defeat Ridley. So the fact that both of them went and grabbed that reserve tank and those missiles at this juncture of the run probably tells you that they're not planning to go to Lower Norfair. But again, you never know. We'll see. One thing to note, Serberoth did elect to pick up the wave beam, so he does not have to glitch any blue gates. We saw BluePlasmaSpark glitch in that blue gate in Green Hills earlier because he did not opt to pick up the wave beam. So far, Serberoth has the wave beam and the spacer beam, which you actually do a significant amount of running with that beam in the 100% normal route. It's pretty powerful. I actually really like it. It looks like he's also going to grab Ice Beam, so he'll have his full new route beam combo here shortly. And that will allow him to do some cool ice free strats here for the rest of the run. Not very important, but I guess I will note that if you look at, I'm going to call it square number 10. That's the intersection of row 2 and column 5. Neither player will be allowed, well, excuse me, I take that back. Beeps can, but Serberoth is no longer allowed to check that off because he got Ice Beam and Speed Booster. And I guess BluePlasmaSpark can't mark it off either because he did pick up the Speed Booster. So whatever row 2 and column 5 appear to be out for both players, doesn't look like either one of them will be doing that column. Serb in a tough room here. He's got an option to try to go back up and grab this or just leave. Ooh, I like that. Serberoth did a really nice strat right there. He got up to the top of his jump, he turned into a ball, and then unmorphed and shot. By unmorphing in the air, it actually kind of slows Samus down for a second, and that gave him some extra frames to be able to shoot and grab that missile pack. Very nicely done. Beeps just got done grabbing the Mission Impossible power bombs as part of his 40 collection. And as pointed out earlier, assuming he does not backtrack for Lower Norfair, which I don't think he will, he's going to have to get every other power bomb there is. So he's going to have to go get the Eticoons. Let's see if he visits the critters here. He did not. So that pretty much confirms that BluePlasmaSpark is probably not going to do row number 5. And once again, poor Crocky taking a dip. Sorry, Croc. Serberoth was trying to open up the door by using a wraparound shot. Unfortunately, he jumped. You have to, if I recall correctly, you have to be at the bottom there, angling up to get it the traditional way. There it is. He got it that time. His first attempt, he was jumping, and so it didn't hit. What that means now is if he chooses to, he can shine spark straight across to the power bomb room without having to open this blue door on the left, like it'll already be open for him. So we'll see what he decides to do here. And there's the door that it opened right there. And as you can see, very excellently done. Serberoth has Shine Spark straight across, which even though he decided not to pick up the power bombs. I guess maybe some hundo muscle memory, but I guess he didn't feel like he needed the power bomb pack there. But yeah, even though the crash animation takes a little bit, it's still faster to do that than it is to if you want to go up there early, it's faster than falling down to the bottom and then jumping back up. Beeps now appears to be making his way to wreck ship via the Terminator room. The very not often seen up the Terminator room. The only category I can think of at the moment where you see that happen is in low percent speed on your way back to the ship to refill your power bombs. Looks like Beeps is also going to grab the criteria power bombs here because he's got to get them all. More Alcoons there, dropping those power bombs. I don't know if he'll grab them or not. He seems to be okay on power bombs at the moment. Serberoth, meanwhile, grabbing the 2 missile packs down after Croc, and it looks like he is also going to be skipping that grapple beam. So, no grapple beam today, folks. All right, let's get some Shine Spark strats here for Beeps. Notice that he jumped low through that door so he could hit these moat missiles. Very nice strat. He's got to continue that 125 missile collection. So that allowed him to grab those on his way over. He'll Shine Spark again here. And my assumption would be that he'll probably, when he gets through with Phantoon and Attic, I bet he will grab the other 3 regular missile packs in the ocean room there. There's one up high, one in the middle, and then one at the bottom. He'll probably wait till he has gravity for the bottom one, but that'll be 15 more regular missiles. And here he is also grabbing the wreck ship left side missiles. Very nice. Okay. Everybody keep a close eye on BluePlasmaSpark for just a moment. Earlier, he skipped the criteria map station, presumably. I mean, he's forced to either grab it or the wrecked ship map station. Presumably, he will grab the wrecked ship one here. If not, that would be a big problem. Certainly, I hope he has not forgotten. Okay, very good. So he's just going to run right over here, which that will probably be, probably a few seconds, maybe 6, 7, 8 seconds faster than going to the criteria ones. And he's going to get ready for his Fantoon fight, which shouldn't be too difficult for him. He's got tons of health and various suit and plenty of missiles. So let's see how this goes. Okay, an opening round slow pattern, a right slow for beeps. That's 4. You got 2 in there, so he's got 6 out of the 19 that he needs. He needs 19 missile shots and 1 super to kill. Fantooni's got 6 so far. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think he got 3 or 4 there. I'll call it 13. He's either got 13 or 14. He's going to get a slow pattern on this third round here. He only got 1 there. Is that 16? There he goes. All right. So I think he had the extra one there. So he got a couple Dopplers in there and a super, so he's good to go. And Serberoth is, ladies and gentlemen, it looks as though I was mistaken. Serberoth is going to head down to Lower Norfair here. So get hyped for a lava dive attempt coming up right here on SpeedGaming 2 in just a moment. Okay, he's avoiding the flames of the Namahe. He's going to wall jump off the face of this one. Unfortunately, went a little too high. He's still got time. Just needs to take his time. Oh, right into the flame. He can still pull this off. He can still pull this off if he goes quickly. He still has time. Oh, unfortunately, missed the last wall jump. That's going to be it. He's going to have to reset. Let's see what save he goes back to here. I believe this is the Bubble Mountain room, so he hasn't gone back too far. He's probably only lost maybe like probably be like a minute and a half to 2 minutes total, like by the time that he gets back down to attempt it again. Beep's grabbing the top regular missiles as I predicted earlier. He's also going to grab these middle ones, and then I assume he will also grab the lower ones in this same room when he exits gravity. Assuming he's also got to grab that wreck ship reserve tank. So I assume he will grab, well, obviously he's going to run into those missiles there too. So picking up quite a few missiles over in this juncture of the run. Not bad. Beeps does need to be a bit careful here. I mean, he's not in terrible shape, but I don't know how much he's got in reserves, and he's going to take some damage, at least 60, before he gets into the ball here. And then he ended up taking 90, and he's going to need some health to get up, to get to the reserve tank. I assume he's probably got it in the reserve tank. I don't know off the top of my head the exact health number to make it to the top of that wreck ship reserve room because you got a spark up there. There's no other way. But let's hope that he's got it. Meanwhile, Serberoth nailing his second attempt at the lava dive. Very well done. He's now in objectively the greatest part of the whole game, right? Lower Norfair is clearly the coolest place in the game. It's got the best music. It's very sinister. It's got a lot of fun strats, and it's got the best, most troll boss as well. So glad to see some Lower Norfair action. Looks like we're going for some fast pillars from the left side action. Let's see if he can pull it off. Okay, 69. If he had not had anything else in his reserve, looks like 69 was like the exact number. So, whew, good for him. Okay, this is a problem. Serberoth does not have the gravity suit, okay? Which means that making a mistake in this room is incredibly dangerous because you get stuck in this acid and you can't jump through it very quickly. And he's not gonna make it. Oh boy. Not to mention the fact that, you know, public service announcement, I've mentioned this sort of casually in a few of my interviews and such. I'm not saying you can't do it, okay? But Lower Norfair without gravity suit, I don't care how good you are, I don't care how seasoned of a runner you are, it's a dangerous place because everything in Lower Norfair hits like a complete truck. Okay, and again, no matter how good you are, sometimes, you know, even the best players make mistakes. If you take a hit from almost anything, you're taking either 100, sometimes 80 damage, and that can add up very quickly. So hopefully Serberoth will find a way to manipulate this. I also hope he gets the fire flea. I hope he gets through here and then grabs the fire flea energy tank before he heads to Ridley. I think a refill before that fight would be a really smart decision. This is a good room for Beeps. He gets to grab the power bombs and the regular missiles. And obviously, since he's going for 40 power bombs, he's going to have to grab these and the ones above, assuming he doesn't want to go to Lower Norfair. He might have actually grabbed those already. I probably just missed it. There's another power bomb room up here. Maybe he already grabbed it. Somebody in the chat can confirm or deny. Looks like he's heading to it now. Okay. So here he is grabbing the Beta Max power bombs. Meanwhile, Serberoth's still trying to set up this fast pillars attempt. Looks like he's going to go with the power bombs. This time he needs to be very careful. Oh, that first power bomb was not flush with the wall. That means the fourth one right there did not break. This is going to be a problem. I'm not saying he can't make it through, but this is a big issue. He's going to have to drop another power bomb to get through this room. He might can make it, but this is going to be tough, dude. Tough. Go, 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 go. All right, he cannot take a hit of any kind in this room or he will die. This is a very, very tough situation for Serberoth here. Even one mistake. Everything in this room hits for 100. He needs to be very careful. This is also his last power bomb. He's going to have to refill with the fire fleas before he heads down to Wasteland. Oh, Serberoth, please. Okay, there we go. All right, he's in okay shape right now. If he can stand in the correct location here in just a moment, he should be able to run fine into the... Oh, he's back a little bit. I'm concerned he's going to run into this little spike right here. And he did. Okay, okay. Oh, dang it. He lost his momentum, and that kind of changed where he landed. He wasn't expecting to land there, and makes things a lot more difficult. Meanwhile, BluePlasmaSpark over here in Meridia doesn't have enough health to spark, so he's opting. He tried to do a speed booster high jump boot strat, but he kind of missed it. So instead, he's now reaching into his low ice bag of tricks and doing a great gravity jump there, which goes really high when you have the high jump boots. Imagine that, a strat with high jump boots jumping high in the air. Who would have thought? Yeah, I agree with Toasty here. I do believe that grabbing the screw attack here would actually be a really good call because it would make every other room in Lower Norfair way, way more comfortable. It would also give him a chance to refill his health to full because of the health refill. Very nice. He can also technically refill on his super missiles here from these rippers, and he can farm the orbs in the next room. Oh, okay. This is still a bit scary. He's got to nail. Okay, there we go. Okay, he's okay. Yeah, I got you baited pretty hard there. I was for sure Serberoth was going to go grab the screw attack, which, you know, obviously it's up to every runner. You could argue that grabbing the screw attack and then screw attacking these pirates would be faster. However, it also just depends on how comfortable you are with the wall jump up here. He might actually want to freeze this pirate on purpose, so the screw attack might not be as beneficial to him. Plus, he should be in better shape once he gets to the Fire Fleet energy tank, but we'll see, man. You know, public service announcement, I know I just mentioned it a minute ago, but I'm telling y'all, Lower Norfair is not a joke. No matter how many items you have, this is a very dangerous section of the run. So hopefully he'll get through here. Beeps heading up the toilet bowl. Can you say that? He's heading up the drain to pop out of the toilet bowl. Right there. Surprise. Beeps, if he gets hit, I'm pretty sure that these pancakes do like a lot of damage. Maybe they only do 20 to the gravity suit. I can't quite remember, but they do a ton. I think they do 80 or something to if you only have the power suit. Serberoth, please be careful. Okay, 30 for the pancakes, so that would have killed BluePlasmaSpark had he run into them. All right, this is the place where I would like to see Serberoth take his time, line up his run here so that he won't run into those pillars. He's going to... Did he even press dash? He did not press dash, so he's going to land in a different place. All right, he needs to hurry, though. If he gets stuck in that acid, he doesn't have gravity suit. Go, go, go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tough situation. Meanwhile, BluePlasmaSpark, he needs to be careful in this room, too. These battle crabs will do 30 damage to the gravity suit, which means that they will do 120 damage to the power suit. I bet there's a lot of people in here who've died to these battle crabs. They will do over a full energy tank worth to the power suit. Incredibly powerful. I'm not sure exactly what Beeps is getting ready to do, but we'll find out here shortly. Maybe he's going to go grab the mama turtle E-tank or something. No, I guess not. Okay, Serberoth now has managed to Green Gate glitch again, and this time he is going over to the screw attack area. I like this decision. This will make Lower Norfair a little bit easier. Unfortunately, he dropped a power bomb there. It's not a huge deal. He can farm those orbs, but he does need to hang on to at least a few to run the strats that he wants to run in most of these rooms. He's going to fill up in here, and I presume he probably knows the jump to get out of here using the screw attack. Beeps, meanwhile, entering the aqueduct. And he's gonna go down to grab the power bomb pack. No, he's not grabbing the power bomb pack. This side is the regular missile pack and the reserve. I'll be honest, I haven't looked that closely at the card. I don't know exactly why he's going over here. Maybe for the missile pack? Does he need the reserve tank? I guess if he's doing column 1, he needs to get all 4 of the reserves, so maybe that's why he's doing it. Okay, yeah, at this point, I gotta assume that Beeps is doing column 1. But I don't remember him getting the NorFair map station. But I missed his exit. Can anybody confirm or deny that Beeps did go into the NorFair map station? It is a powerbomb door in the business center. He also needs to be careful. Smart decision by dropping this powerbomb by BluePlasmaSpark here, because those Evirs, or however you pronounce it, these little shrimp guys, can actually do a lot of damage to you. So I'm glad that he cleared that out before going through here. The sand physics are atrocious. Alright, Serberoth has now made it to the top of Amphitheater. And I presume he's going to go over here and grab the Firefleet E-Tank as well as fill up on his power bomb. So I like this call. Okay, I didn't think he went there, so if he wants to do column 1, he's gonna have to grab that NorFair map station and then finish in Kraid's room, but then he'll be done. Beeps is very close here, probably within maybe a minute and a half of finishing. Serberoth shooting the key hunters. I think maybe he forgot he has screw attack. There we go. That's a little bit more efficient. Those key hunters take a lot of damage, actually. If you just do regular beam attacks, even with even with wave, ice, spacer. I don't remember the exact number, but they've got a lot of health. Beeps, meanwhile, getting ready. Alright, Beeps, please be careful. Do not run into Mini Kraid, please. Please don't run into Mini Kraid. Because Mini Kraid hits like a truck. I don't know if he does 40 damage to gravity, but he does a lot of damage. Don't run into Mini Kraid, please. Okay, you can anyway. He's got speed booster. Alright, we're good. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a dot done by BluePlasmaSpark. He is finished in first place with an official SRL time of 53:29. I do not see anything that he missed. I think he got all 40 of the power bombs and all that. So unless I see otherwise, I'm going to assume that he has completed all of his requirements. So congratulations to BluePlasmaSpark. He will be surviving and advancing in this tournament. Serberoth, meanwhile, heading over to Ridley. Probably going to do, just a little bit of farming here before the Ridley fight, because don't forget, he will be taking twice as much damage as normal from Ridley because he only has on the Various suit. So he's going to want to get some health. Normally Ridley hits for like, I think his body hits for 40 and his tail for 30. So that's going to do 60, or I guess 80 and 60 respectively, with the current suit. So he's going to need to farm here. This is a place where that grapple beam would have actually come in handy a bit. But I do not blame him or Beeps for skipping, going to pick it up for sure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have the one and only BluePlasmaSpark in for an interview. Beeps, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing, Kip?
I'm doing well, man. Congratulations on the victory. You did a nice job. Tell us a little bit about, number one, the card. Why did you decide to assign row number 5 to Cerberus?
So I honestly had a hard choice choosing. A big thing about it is I chose row 5 because of the collect plasma or defeat Ridley and the 125 missiles, because I wanted to either Dragon or Ridley, and that was a good way to do it. And they also had that 125 missile, but the other things there didn't seem too bad, like visit the critters, and then other two are just free. So I didn't even notice like the bottom or top left to bottom right either, and that was actually pretty difficult just because of having to go everywhere.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Number one, I agree with you. I think you selected a nice row. I think that's a tough one. Anytime you got plasma or Ridley, and especially the critters, that's pretty slow. But it's funny you mentioned that about the diagonal. I have been guilty, and I've seen other people accidentally not notice the diagonals. I don't know about you, but for some reason I get focused on the columns and the rows, and I forget that the diagonals are even possible a lot of the time. So that's interesting. Secondly, tell us a little bit about your run. You had a nice clean run, nothing, super bad happened or anything like that. Tell us a little bit about how you decided to route it.
I mean, in the beginning, I just started off the way like in any percent, and I was thinking about going up, and then I saw Wretched Preserve and realized I had to do an early NorFair, so I had to go down and go back up. And I just didn't want to go into Lower Norfair because that's so slow. And well, it'd be kind of against what I was doing Serberoth because I wanted him to go into Lower Norfair and want to keep myself out of there as much as possible. So I just decided to skip the 2 power bombs in there and pick up everything else. And for the hundo route, I don't know why I did that. I mean, I should have done normal hundo route. I was halfway through it and I just thought, why am I doing this? This is so bad. So...
Well, it turned out to be perfectly fine. I mean, I'm not sure it would have been like significantly faster. I just mentioned it because, with hundo, you just get so accustomed to doing all that cleanup after X ship.
Yeah.
But I certainly don't blame you for doing it early. I don't think there was a significant difference. Plus, you got to show off running up Terminator, which was...
yeah, I mean, that is something. It just, the biggest room where it made difference is Billy Mays, which I didn't even have to visit. I didn't really route the missiles very well. I just picked up everything.
Yeah, 125 missiles is, it's one of those squares that I wouldn't call it hard. Like, it's not hard to literally pick up 125 missiles, but it's so slow. So I certainly don't blame you for wanting to go up there to grab those.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're moving on. You're going to continue into this tournament. I don't know who exactly it is you'll be playing next, but hope you're looking forward to another match. And tell us a little bit about, have you enjoyed the tournament so far?
Yeah, so far I have enjoyed it. I mean, it's been kind of keeping me into Super Metroid. I've been pretty busy with other stuff recently, but Dab is always one of those things that's just kind of fun to do because you have to figure out your own route and everything.
I agree. In the meantime, unfortunately, Serberoth just took a death to Ridley. The Ridley fight is very difficult when you don't have the full beam combination. And as I mentioned earlier, he's taking double damage versus, when you go in there with the gravity suit. So I hate to see that, but he's loading it back up and he's going to try again, which is great.
Does he have...
Hopefully he'll get it this time.
Ice Wave Spacer, or...
He's got Ice Wave Spacer, yeah.
All right. I mean, even then, that's still a difficult fight if you're not used to it, because he doesn't even have grav.
Yeah, you're right. It's a tough fight because you got to hit Ridley. This is not including supers, which he does at least have some supers he can use, but it's a 60 beam shot fight if you do all charge shots. But the problem, as mentioned earlier, is you just really, if you look at his health, he doesn't even have 5 energy tanks. It's really more like 3 if you count the reserves in a way, because they're all really only half of what they normally would be. because of the double damage. So it's a tight fight. It could be very difficult. Hopefully he'll get through it this time. Well, Beeps, I'll leave it to you, man. If you have anything else you'd like to say, then go right ahead. Otherwise, GG, man. Excellent job, and I wish you well in the rest of the turn.
I mean, I guess I should say shouts to everyone else in the tournament, including shouts to serberoth, because he had it was kind of hard scheduling, but we end up getting the race and end, which is great. So yeah, shouts to him. I don't really have anything else to say, but thanks for commentating, Kip, and thanks for everyone watching.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thank you. And yeah, I'm sure we'll see you again here soon whenever you get your next match set up, which we're all looking forward to. And to Beep's point here, I will say, shout outs to everybody in this tournament who is working with each other to try to get these races in. Obviously, everybody has, a lot going on in their lives, so it's really cool for people to take out their time and work with other people, especially sometimes when they're not in the same time zone or not even literally in the same country. So I love these tournaments because it's also a show of goodwill by people in the community. All right, so serberoth now farming up a little bit here. He's trying to get these bugs to get lined up so he can farm them both at the same time. Going to be difficult to do unless he grabs both the drops at the same time. Even if they're just slightly off, it's hard to shoot them at the same time here. Yeah, John, I realize he's got 2 reserves. What did I say? 3. So basically it's like 3.5, it's not much more. It's basically effectively like 1, maybe 2 extra hits. So if you look at his health, especially here's another thing, if he leaves the auto on, then that actually reduces the number of health that he gets from the reserves, because he'll automatically take the hit that he takes to kick in the reserves. So really, in a way, it's kind of like only having 120 health or maybe 140. So he doesn't have a ton of effective health for this fight. I mean, a 3-tank Ridley fight can get troublesome, depending on how trolly Ridley can be. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes better for Serb this time. If he only uses charge shots and supers, this will be a 40-shot fight, because the supers count basically as 2 charge shots each. The supers do 600 damage to Ridley. The charge shots are doing 300. Since he has to do 60, 10 times 2 would be 20. Yeah, I'm sure y'all all see the math. Serb needs to be careful. He's getting hit by the tail, unfortunately. All right, he's in a good spot. Looks like Ridley's about to swoop here. Okay, 1 more hit's going to trigger the reserves, and then he's going to take a double hit. Well, actually, luckily he did not take a double hit. After saying that, check it out. We found the one way, I guess technically even the acid, for him to not take a double hit. But the next hit is going to kill him no matter what hits him, I guess, unless it's a single fireball shot. Ooh, unfortunately. Timing was just a little tad bit off, and he jumped into Ridley there. Let's boot it up and try again. John making a good point in the chat here. Since serberoth does have the screw attack, he can use that to help to avoid some of the swoop patterns. Unless my knowledge is mistaken, the screw attack will allow you to jump through Ridley's body and not get hit, but it will not allow you to jump through Ridley's tail. So even if he does that, he'll have to, be a little cognizant of where he's jumping to make sure that he doesn't jump into the tail. And we've got some confirmation in the chat. Very nice. Looks like Beep's over here visiting the fish, the Varia fish. What we just witnessed from Serberoth there is something that I find really annoying about those metal pirates. Sometimes, in particular, I don't know why, I find it happens to me a lot more with the left pirate, but the super missiles you want to use to kill them can actually bounce off their back when they're running away from you. It's really annoying because those super missiles are very valuable, but they take 3 super missiles each if that's the only thing you're going to use to kill them. I believe they have 1,800 health, and I don't... Or wait, I can't remember if they have 1,800... Yeah, they have 1,800 health, and the supers do double damage, because I'm almost fairly certain about that, because I believe it takes 6 regular missiles to do the damage of 1 super to those guys. I think you could kill them with 18 regular missiles. So supers are always a better option than regular missiles if you can afford it. Ooh, the rare double super drops. Very nice. He's gonna use a super on the eye door here shortly. After that, they'll have supers back on the drop table. But right now, it's just health and power bombs, because I think he's full on regular missiles. I could be wrong about that. He might actually need... it's just that the missile drops on these, is it Zebos, I believe? I think the missile drop on them, if everything's on the loot table, is actually pretty low. So I think right now he's only going to be getting large health unless he gets a rare power bomb drop. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up the... official bracket. I'm sorry, the official bracket for this tournament, and let's take a look at that and talk about where Beeps is now and who his potential opponents will be, and then kind of talk about it from there. We also have a lot of other matches going on in the near future. All right, looks like BluePlasmaSpark is already set on his next opponent. His next opponent will be Crocomire, who technically got by his first loser's bracket matchup with Cheese Reaver. So Crocomire and BluePlasmaSpark will face in match number 54 of the tournament. And then the winner of that match will then go on to face Mass Hysteria, which is actually an IRL personal good friend of mine. So that should be really exciting to watch as well, no matter who wins the first race. So yeah, I've got some cool matchups coming up here shortly. Also in the losers bracket, some other matches that will be coming up in the very near future. We got Hero 82 versus Magoo. I believe that's this Saturday. I don't know how to pronounce some of these names. Messer with P-Toil. I'm not sure how to pronounce that either, sorry. Easy Danger and Paper Tiger, I believe, are racing now. The winner of that will face Drake. And we got Diddy Kong versus A Real Cutie coming up soon. As well as 64-Bit Link versus Feral. Also Toasty versus Astor. And everybody else is waiting to see who they will run against. The winner of the Hero Magoo match will actually face our very own Polar Bear Bunny here. And now back to Serberoth's fight. Ooh, unfortunately he's going to take a double hit here. He can only get hit one more time now. Ooh, that was a close one. unfortunately didn't quite jump high enough to get Ridley to turn around, and unfortunately Serberoth took a tail to the face there. So he'll have to boot it up and try again. But one way or another, this Ridley is going down. While Serberoth is making his way back down to Ridley to farm up for the next attempt, I will be right back in just a couple minutes. Give me just one second. All right, and now Serberoth making his way into the Ridley room for another attempt. Let's see how this one goes. All right, very nice ball under and then turn around. All right, another nice ball underneath there. Ridley decide to pogo to the right again. There we go. Got him turned around. He's going to get into position. Knock a few of these charge shots out. Looking good. And this is going to be a fast swoop. Oh, it wasn't. That looked almost exactly like it was going to be a fast swoop. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes Ridley just looks a certain way as he's rising up. And he can actually swoop back quickly on you, which is, if you're not ready for it, can be a catastrophe. Serberoth, oh, he's going to get hit here. Ridley is very trolly. He's got by far the most complicated AI in this game. Don't get hit, Serb. One more hit. Oh. So he can do a lot of crazy things, especially in a fight that's elongated by not having the fully powered beam. Yeah, the Ridley fight without gravity is very difficult. I mean, again, you just have way, way less effective health. All right, good. That time, Serberoth getting a clean 6 supers to kill the metal pirates and didn't have to deal with that sort of crazy thing where that bounces off their back. And now he's going to gear up for another Ridley fight here by farming some supers and health. All right, we got another Ridley attempt here by Serberoth. Let's see how this goes. Off to a good start. Got 2 shots in. 3. Ooh, that's nasty. Taking the double hits in the air there is never good. Smart call here by refilling the energy without allowing the reserve auto to kick in. That will allow him to save one of his hits. Still, this is a pretty grim situation. He's only got 141 health. If he gets hit either 2 or 3 more times, depending on what hits him, it's going to be bad news. Okay. Serberoth, if you're asking how many supers does he have Phoenix Down, I believe he has a maximum of 10. At the moment, I think the only supers that Serberoth has picked up have been the early supers and the Spore Spawn Supers. He actually grabbed the Spore Spawn Supers his first trip through Pink Brinstar, using the regular missiles and then a super missile to get back there with the I don't know what you call it, like the glitch or whatever you call it. So yeah, he's only effectively got a third of Ridley's health and super missiles. So at minimum, like this is imagining he doesn't use any regular missiles. He's got to hit 40 charge shots. He's going to have to do some combination of the 10 supers and then either 40 charge shots, and for every charge shot that he doesn't do, he could replace it with 3 missiles. So if he were to, technically, if he were to connect with every single regular missile he has, that'd be 10,000 of the damage, and then 10 supers would be another 6,000. Ridley has 18,000 health. So even if he connected with all 100 missiles and all 10 supers, he would still have another 2,000 damage to go, which would be roughly 7 charge shots. So we'll see how it goes here. All right, so we got another attempt at Ridley here. The missiles, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that in terms of speed, regular missiles are actually still faster than Ice Wave Spazer shots. It does lag the room a little bit, but that also means you get more in for the amount of time. And I think you can knock out 3 faster than you can a charge shot, plus they're way less likely to be blocked if he's pogoing to the left. But I certainly don't blame him for wanting to use the charge shots. It's getting pretty close again. If he's not careful, he's going to pop the reserve again. Next hit should pop the reserve. Okay, this looks pretty safe. Pumping in a bunch of regular missiles and some supers here. Good call. Doesn't want to miss any of these. He didn't miss any. I think he literally had Ridley dead, but Ridley unfortunately did a shallow rise and then tried to grab Serberoth and ran straight into him. That is very unfortunate. Okay, Serb now going to use these super missiles once again to try to double damage. Oh, unfortunately missed a few. Gonna need 6 regular missiles or 2 charge shots there. All right, and Serberoth still fighting Ridley here. Gonna try to get another attempt. Unfortunately, just did not quite jump high enough to get Ridley to turn around. Let's see. And Ridley's now about to swoop. Hey, oh, he decided to come back down. I mean, he might have come back down because he doesn't have enough damage yet. He actually literally cannot swoop until he's hit a certain threshold. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We now have Ridley stuck. This is like something that you almost never see in Super Metroid. I've never even seen it quite like this. Ridley is stuck just on the edge of the screen here and not moving. And presumably, if Serberoth doesn't jump, I don't think, will not move. And then if he's truly stuck, he won't move unless Serberoth hits him with a power bomb. So Serberoth will literally be able to stand here and shoot him repeatedly until he is dead. However, Ridley does have to move to finish the fight because he has to grab you. So Serberoth will need to drop a power bomb to make that happen. Let's see if that will happen or not. If he is truly stuck, I've never seen it quite like this at this part of the screen. If he's truly stuck in place, you can't jump into his claw with him being stationary like that. Yeah, it looks like he's stationary. I've never seen him get stuck that high. Serberoth is going to have to drop a power bomb to get him to move. That's the only way it's going to happen. If Serberoth isn't careful, he's going to jump into him too many times and he could still get killed by Ridley, which would be an incredible travesty. I don't know if Serberoth knows this, but he's going to have to drop a power bomb to get Ridley to move. Oh, no. There it is. Please grab him, Ridley. Please grab him. Please grab him. Please. Oh, no. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is very unfortunate to see. GG to Serberoth. Unfortunately, I've been told that we have to, SpeedGaming 2 has to move on to cover another event. So Serberoth will continue, and hopefully we'll finish up his dab. We're going to turn this over to a different tournament. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but thank you guys so much for watching, and be on the lookout for more dab matches in the near future. Thanks again to Polar Bear Bunny and Nightwolf for helping with the tracking during this match. And thank you to Serberoth and BluePlasmaSpark for putting on a great show for us. My name is Kip. You guys have an excellent night, and I will see you guys later. Good evening.